Hello! Today marks a very special occasion, as this channel has hit 1000 subscribers. I am incredibly grateful for all the support you all have been showing me these past few months, and I hope to not disappoint going forward. To celebrate, this video is going to break down the full animal roster for Morrison Uncovered, the current main project on this channel. Before I do that, however, let me quickly go over what Morrison Uncovered actually is, for those who have not seen my recent announcement video on the matter. Morrison Uncovered is a low-poly art project first and foremost, where I try to reconstruct the late Jurassic Morrison Formation of Western North America. This I want to do while also emulating the retro 3D graphics you would see on old PC games and programs from the late 90s and early aughts. The models and environments I create will then be used in educational videos, explaining how this world may have looked like according to modern science. The first episode, covering the general geology and environments, is actually in production right now and should release within the next month or two, roughly. There are other plans for the project in the future, but that is a topic for another video. Now that things have been all cleared up, let's get into the rosters, starting off with the non-dinosaurs. Two of them have already been finished so far, the cat-sized crocodilian Pterochampsa and the horrifying Neognatha pterosaur Mesodactylus. Many more are planned though, mainly of the small critter variety. The common lungfish Ceratodus and the ray-finned fish Maurolepis are going to be the main aquatic animals, as well as the turtle Dinochelys, the latter of which has been in development for a while now, but for some reason is an absolute pain to work with every step of the way, which is why it has been shelved until I get enough energy to wrestle with it again. Speaking of reptiles though, the small crocodilian Eutaurosuchus, which is very difficult for me to pronounce, is going to be the main semi-aquatic predator for Morrison Uncovered, and the second crocodile of the cast. Depending on how much time I have, Goniopholis, who you may know from Path of Titans, may also be modelled, but it will be part of a small extra cast that can be done later if everything goes right. Next to the absolutely horrendous Mesodactylus, the Rhamphorhynchoid Harpoctognathus will also join the roster. The relatively large Kipodactylus is also planned, yet, as with Goniopholis, part of a secondary roster of animals that might make it in later on. Mammals are weird and hairy, and they scare me, so only one mammal is slated to appear in Morrison Uncovered thus far, the relatively common Dryolestes, not to be confused with Dryosaurus, which, spoiler, is not going to be in Morrison Uncovered. Speaking of ornithopods, the role of the smallish ornithopod will instead be filled by the rare Euteodon, which has only recently been fully finished. Next to it, the iconic Camptosaurs will of course also be included. As an aside, many people think Camptosaurs is a rather small animal, yet looking at it, it really is quite big. Large individuals would have outsized Ceratosaurs, so there's that. Nanosaurs, aka Ophnelia, aka Drinker, aka Laurosaurs, aka Haloposaurs, aka Othneliosaurus, will also be there as a critter-sized small animal. Why do they have so many names? Ah, yes, the Bone Wars. Not quite an ornithopod, but I thought the Heterodontosaur frutidens would also make for a nice addition. It's one of the many quite weird dinosaurs that people wouldn't really associate with having lived together with famous giants like Brontosaurs and Allosaurs, despite having been there with them all along. In a similar vein, the early Ankylosaur Gargoyleosaurs has already been modelled. It is such a strange animal to imagine living in the Morrison, and yet two so far known ankylosaurs, it and Mimora pelta, have been discovered there. Of course, while on the topic of Thyreophorans, Stegosaurus will also be on the roster, and is actually being modelled as we speak. It should be done and ready within the next few weeks from recording this. Along with it, the smaller, spikier Stegosaur Alcovosaurs will also be added. I really wish we'd get to see animals like it more in paleo media, not just the A-listers. For the Theropods, we currently have 2 animals finished, with third one being in the modelling stage. Those being the brutish Ceratosaurus and the massive tiger-like Torvosaurus, with a model for a third one, the small Ornitholestes, currently in early development. Many people have asked me to add Allosaurus, and all of those people I want to tell, yes, of course Allosaurus will be added. Just not right now, okay, please? However, I will not include Saurophaganax. No, never. I know it is very popular, but there's just too much baggage going on with Saurophaganax. Whatever I do with it, I will be wrong. I'm not gonna have it. On a more positive note, the less often represented Martiosaurs and Hesperornithoides will also be added to round out the predators. Martiosaurs may actually be the theropod I'm most excited to model. It's just such an interesting animal. On to my beloved sauropods. 3 sauropods have been made so far, 2 Diplodocus, the heavyset Apatosaurus and super long Diplodocus, as well as the gigantic Symphospondylon Brachiosaurus. The next on my sauropod list is going to be Camarasaurus, the most common sauropod in the entire formation. I don't know why, but there is some sort of conspiracy going on trying to ruin the image of poor Camarasaurus by calling it ugly. Why? Look at this gorgeous animal and tell me it is ugly to my face. Anyway, along with it, I'm also planning to add the Dicraeosaurus Suacea. It's a nice change from the giant sauropods of the formation, being at a somewhat more modest size of only up to 15 meters. There will, however, be an even smaller sauropod, a baby Diplodocus. I was contemplating on not having any juveniles at all, but considering how influential young sauropods were in the ecosystem, I thought it would be nice to have at least one of them in there. I did go with Diplodocus specifically, since it is the one we know the most of, having scale impressions and even having some information about what patterns it may have had in life. Also because of working with dinosaurs, I think that would be cool. For the secondary roster, I am also thinking about retooling the Diplodocus model to make a Cartodocus, a smaller relative. But as with all of the secondary roster, I am not quite sure about that yet. There is one more final dinosaur for Morrison Uncovered, yet this one I'm going to keep a secret until it is done. It is probably the most excited I am for any of these animals, which is why I'm going to keep it a very big surprise. In closing, I do want to make it clear that this is all going to take a long while. The first Morrison Uncovered model was made back in September of 2025, and it will probably take at least another year, if not likely more, until the entire roster is finished. However, until then, I will keep you all updated on all that is happening, and hope that you have enjoyed this small look at what is to come. Please tell me in the comments what you think of this roster, and what you're interested in the most from it. The next videos I'm currently working on is a small video essay on early CGI dinosaurs, as well as, of course, the first episode for Morrison Uncovered. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel. I have a lot of plans, and I'm super excited to show them all to you. I hope to see you next time then. Goodbye!